Hello, welcome to the replay. If you are catching this live on the replay, comment replay. I am extremely late tonight, and that's okay. I I am committed to coming on. Like I said, this is Discipline December for me, so I am committed to come on um, pretty much every day this December. Um, Next week gonna be a little challenging. Well, towards the end of the week will be, but I am still going to do my best to come on, just so I can continue to get in the habit of going live again. Um, I, if you've been here any of these nights, I've been going live all night, not all night. I've been going live all week. I started going live on Monday. I just was like, well, let me go ahead and start um, going live again so I can, let people know what I'm doing. I know I have my page is basically set up, let you know that what I do. Um, I am a um, I'm the restore coach, which that means I'm a Christian life coach and a financial consultant, and I help ladies that have been through divorce or heartbreak. I help you rebuild and restore your life. I had to rebuild my life twice. I have went through two divorces, and yeah, when you have to rebuild after a divorce, a um, it's not a pretty sight. And plus, I wanted to be quite honest with women, and plus, God has me on this assignment as well because He helped me rebuild back in 2008, 2009 when I went through my first divorce. He helped me rebuild, and I had businesses. I was in real estate and all that. I've been in the financial industry for over 20 years doing something or another. So I started in banking at a young, tender 19 years old. I was a little teller. That brought me into the financial industry, financial realm. But now what I been tasked to do is to come and bring God's daughter back to Him, because it's a lot of us that are not. We are women in general. We are nurturing. Thank you for everyone that's joining in. I appreciate you coming in the live. We are nurturing and caring by nature. However, the enemy does know that as well, and he will use that to come in and wreak havoc in your life. So, but you can't, I want to bring women back to God, because that's who rebuilt me in the first place. And co-host, now I don't know who you are. Decline. Somebody over there on TT on TikTok want a co-host. Absolutely not. I don't. No, I don't want a co-host. But yeah, when I tell you that there are real life destiny destroyers out there, and I just want to make sure that I get to my sisters so they don't have to go through what I went through in my last marriage, because that was definitely, I fumbled with not really being in my word like I should have been, and also with um, just fumbling what God has had built me up and restored me back then. I had um, a thriving childcare business that I was about to move out of my home because I started in home, but I was about to take it out of my home and do some other things, but I stopped all that to help my ex-husband pursue his dreams and goals and aspirations. And that is one thing that um, and I had found a story, and I still haven't been able to do the um, the post on it yet. I will, though. I will. I'm trying to get this content and stuff together, but um, I am going to do a post about that because this young lady, she reminded me of me. She wanted to help this man. She brought this guy. He didn't have no job. He didn't have no he was living in his mama house and all of that. And she just did so much for him. And she is out here trying to tell women, hey, just, if they got potential, do this, sis. And I'm here to tell you the opposite because we're going to have to check on her in the next year or so because she's gonna need, because in all actuality, when you're doing that much as what she has done for this man and what I had did with my ex, you're not helping them. You're enabling them. And then once they get to the point where they feel like that they don't need you, they're gonna discard you like you never helped them do anything. So, and you are gonna be left crushed and wondering what you did wrong and all that. And honey, I'm trying to save y'all from it. You're gonna need plenty. I say get therapy now because I am an advocate for therapy. You're gonna need a lot of therapy after you go through stuff like that because she fell in love with the what she said, the way he took care of his daughter. But you know, I yeah, like I say, I have read it over the last um couple of days that I have been going live. Well, not the whole week that I've been going live, but I read that story last night and the night before last, and I think maybe Tuesday night too. Cause I want to get out here. No, you don't fall in love with somebody's potential, because you will divorce that reality. If you fall in love with someone's potential and what that person could be, like, you are not setting yourself up for for you set yourself up for failure. I just want to tell you that you setting yourself up for failure. We cannot be out here playing God. When somebody come to you, especially a man, when they come to you and they need all this, that, and the third help, you need to pray for them and give them over to God and be like, okay, well, call me when you get everything straightened out that you need to get straightened out, because all the things that young lady did shouldn't have been, you know, and she's gonna be she's gonna need to be restored. Okay, that's why I'm the restore coach. She's gonna need to be restored because we're doing all of that, and then you know he's gonna get to a point where he feels like she didn't do nothing, or she didn't do anything. She didn't do anything for him, and he's gonna listen. I'm not telling y'all what I heard. I am telling y'all what I went through. This lady, she helped him with paying for everything, even paying for stuff for his daughter, paying for his trade school, doing all that. And when I read all that, I said, "Oh my goodness, she's going down the same route I did." She because at a point when my ex he had stopped working at his dead end job. He's moved in with me. I I was taking care of everything, even put the ninja on my accounts, so he wouldn't have to be asking me for money and make the men be sometimes men is like that. They don't want to, you know it demasculates them, I guess, or whatever. Emasculates them, but helped him get paperwork straight, help him get his citizenship, all that stuff straight, help him get in the military, help with a whole lot of stuff. I ain't even gonna say all the stuff I already did on that. And that's what this young lady is doing, and she's trying to get other women to feel like that is okay, and they should be doing that too. And I'm the one that's gonna run in interception. No, no, I don't know all the terms, but flag on the play, foul, throw it out. Don't do that. Because I'm gonna tell you, a real man is not gonna want you to help him that much. I get it. Some people have a rough time or a rough patch, and they might need a little assistance, but they're not gonna need you to run the whole play. Because somebody told me, if you meet somebody in overalls, don't try to put a tuxedo on them. I was like, what? That was so funny to me. Like, oh man, is that what it was? Thank you everyone that's joining. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. And I just want to make sure that I come in with the interception. Yeah, I think that's what it is, an interception, to bring the people the other way, bring the women the other way. No, don't fall in love with somebody's potential or what you call it, what they could do or what it could possibly be, because I kid you not, and this even happened in another situation with even a woman. Someone, I'm not gonna give names because I'm only giving my business out, because I'm not giving other people's business out. But she was taken out the hood and showed a better life, and because she was a little hood, little ghetto, But after she got out the hood and all that, and she got a taste of, suburban life and all that, she thought she was better than folks. So it's vice versa. I would say a man or woman, but at the end of the day, women, they tend to do it more than men would, I would say. Like they and some men are providers anyway, so men are gonna want to take care of you or whatnot, or should at least somewhat. But I say this: if that man is not your husband, You don't need a man to take care of you. What is he taking care of you for? I'm on that. I'm not one of these ones out here that I'm not one of these ones out here that is going to be like, oh, a man gotta take care of me, a man gotta pay my bills, da da da. No, absolutely not. Cause I didn't. No man. When I met my ex, nobody wasn't paying my bills for me. I was paying my bills myself and taking care of my kids myself. And I guess society has had it where, you know, they want women out here, mm, I don't know what they doing, some exchange for some change or whatever. But honey, all you need to do is get back to God, because God is your provider. And I was so glad that was one of the things that I made sure, and the Spirit made sure that I told my ex when he walked out the door. I was like, you thought you were my provider, because he had broke me down where child, that's why another reason why I had to have therapy so bad, because I'm like, how did this happen to me? But um, I was made sure, I told him, you're not my provider. You thought you was my provider, but you're not. God is my provider. God is my provider. And that's all of us. God is our provider. Jehovah Jireh. God is our provider. Nobody on this earth. God, even most people be out here feeling like, their accomplishments and their degrees and their job is what is providing for them and what's sustaining them. But honey, I'm here to tell you, that's not who is providing for you. God is still providing for you, because He is the one that wakes you up every morning to be able to go to that job. He gives you the strength and the ability to be able to do whatever that task or whatever that is that you are doing on that job. That job is not your provider either. Most business owners, when you're a business owner, you really, that's spiritual work right there, because let me tell you, like my first husband told me, he was like, I could never understand how you would do that, because he was like, you would have $2 one day and $3,000 the next day. That's the life of an entrepreneur. And sometimes it's like when you are when you but when you are like established in business, it take you a while when you in business. And that's when I was very, very first starting out in business, when me and him was together, because I had some rental property, and then I had a mortgage processing company, and I had to wait on deals to close and all of that stuff. Whew, that was like a stress, kind of not stressful, stressful, but somewhat stressful. But it was rewarding at the end of the day, because I was doing something that I enjoyed doing, and I enjoyed helping people get in homes. That was like the joy when I would get them to clear the clothes. That was just, I truly loved it. That's why when I first came online, I was talking about, I was still talking about faith and finance, but I was mainly telling people how they can get approved for a mortgage and what they need to do. But like all of that is changing too now, y'all. Like, I don't know if y'all heard about this 50-year mortgage, but that's crazy. But What's really is about to change is your credit too, because I've been helping people with credit for a long time before it was even popular. Um, Back in the 99 and 2000s, you know. Because now back then, when I was doing credit, when I first started doing credit repair, credit restoration, it was a lot. Um, I would say it was a lot easier to repair people credit, but now um, it's you have to really know what you're doing. Because I even had to relearn and redo some stuff because it's so much has changed, and then they even to change the scoring model because right now we use FICO 8, and then if you wanted a mortgage, they did a tri merge, and they would do FICO 2 5. Um, and I forgot the other. I can't think out. But they had three that they would pull tri merge credit report, and now that's about to change, and y'all they doing some called FICO 10T, and that's gonna change the game for a lot of people. So that's another thing that I'm glad I have a book for women that's rebuilding, and I'm gonna do another one probably like solely on credit, just based off of like my knowledge and stuff like that with it. I know there's a lot of people out here doing telling you about, you know, funding and all this and that, and like I laugh when I heard people talk about no doc business loans and all that, and it's really they using your personal credit to PG it and stuff like that. I was like, you know what no doc came from? No doc, and it's not no doc what they're doing. It's basically credit cards that they're getting you to get. It's not a loan or nothing like that. And no doc come from mortgages back in the 2006 and 7 era when we was doing no doc loans and stated income loans. Now, no doc loans were you just use your basically your credit score that got you approved for a mortgage loan at that, not just, you know, a consumer loan or, you know, a business loan. It was they allowed you to do stated income, no doc. It was crazy back then. When I guess that's why we went through the 2008 thing, because man, people was running stuff up, and it was foreclosures happening left and right. But I, in the, you know, in this women group, like I said, I have a lot of knowledge, 20 years of it. So I want to show women and empower you to do things yourself. Do, uh, do your credit yourself. How to properly structure your business yourself. How to properly get business credit, not something that you're gonna have to use to PG. You know, PG is personal guarantor. You will have to use your social security number to personally guarantee the loan. We don't want to do that. We want to be able to have the business stand on its own, you know, self, foot, whatever. You know, we want to make sure that it does that. So we want to make sure that we don't have to you don't have to put your social. I started, and then everybody out here, I'm talking more on my finance stuff tonight. The last couple of nights I've been more on the faith base, but tonight I'm feeling led to talk on the finance tip. That's why I talk faith and finance. But with the with the group, I want the women to y'all to have businesses. Oh yeah, that's what I was about to say. Everybody's talking about LLCs. Get your LLC. Get your LLC. Get your LLC. I say don't get no LLC. Get you an INC, a corporation. Because a corporation, and I'm not an attorney, I'm not a CPA or anything, I'm not giving you legal advice, but I'm just telling you what I do, or what I did, and what I have done for help, what others have asked me about. So, um, get you an INC, because that will totally separate you from your business. A LLC, when you go, it's number one, it is a disregarded entity according to the IRS. When you do your taxes, you're going to have to put that on your 1040 under a Schedule C. So it's not it's not totally separated from you. And if you do want it to be a corporation, you would have to file additional paperwork, which is you're going to have to file a taxation, which is a Schedule C taxation. You will have to file that. And then it's when you do that with an LLC, when you try to become a corporation under LLC and do the S corp, you are it's more guidelines you have to go under with that. I'm not telling you what I know, what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. Because when I restarted, first of all, let me go back. When I first started my businesses back in, let me look and see when that was. I gotta make a post about this too. When I first started business, my business is back in. Hold on, y'all. Let me look at because this is all public record, and to let you know, baby, I ain't new to it. I'm true to it, and I'm about to tell y'all right now. When I first got my first business, when I first got my business entity, and it was the worst. Even though I was in banking, I did not know nothing about business. I just knew what people needed to open up an account, and that was that. I didn't know, I just knew what they needed when it came down to wanting to open up a business account. I knew what to tell them with that. But other than that, business, shoot, I did not know. Let me tell y'all what it was the worst entity ever that you could ever. Okay, so that was back in, oh y'all, wow. So my first business entity was, I got it back in January 10th, 2006. I've been doing business since 2006. Probably a little bit before that, but no, that's my baby girl, because that's the same year that I had my baby girl, and that's when I had to start my business, because I had got let go of the bank that I was at. But anyway, we ain't talking about that. But That's when 2006 is when I started my first business entity, and it was the worst business entity. It was a DBA. It was, you doing business as, and this is what is called a sole prop. You never want to have a sole prop if you're doing like um the businesses that I was doing. It was the awful, because I had a property management business that I was using for my what is this? I had a property management business that I was doing. I had a property management business that was helping me with my real estate properties that I had, and my it was for my mortgage. I was using it too for my mortgage processing center. Also, I had another one that I created in 2008, and that was solely just for investment properties. So I say that to say, and then y'all, I even had my child care business as a TBA. All those businesses should never be a sole prop. All those businesses should never be a sole prop. Never. Okay. So when you know better, you do better. So when I restarted my business, when I went to the Texas Secretary of State, and let me tell y'all what I entity search. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all what date that I did mine, and I did a INC. I had did my own, and then I had a friend that's been in doing taxes and everything for years, and she was guiding me and telling me stuff, and that's the reason why I went on ahead and did a INC when I restarted my business back in 2017. I did an INC, and I've been rocking with an INC ever since, because that's a way, a C Corp, you'll be able to totally get your business, it's its own entity, its own, as the IRS say, its own person. You won't hear about that as an LLC, that it's its own person. That's not gonna, they're not gonna say that. So you want to, that's things that I'm be going over in my community. I have like I said, I have a book and all of that. But the book is mainly for it's mainly for the steps that I use to rebuild my life after divorce. So, because before you do anything, y'all, when you go through a divorce or a heartbreak or something like that, you gotta get your mind together. You gotta get your mental together before you can, really go out there and thrive like you need to. Because a lot of people are like, oh, you can go through this and go through that. But honey, when you out here in these streets trying to fight for your life, and people have done or still trying to attack you and do things and tear you down and drag you through the mud, honey, when I tell you, it is not your mind be so just all over the place, and you need something that's gonna really have you get you in line. You need therapy. I did a lot of journaling in this time. I have did a lot of journaling, and I have read a lot of books, but the most important book that I got in was the Bible. And the Bible even tells us about making money. And a lot of people want to say that, Christians uh, have to be poor or struggling or whatever. No, God never said that. I haven't went out. I haven't read that in the Bible. And I don't even have my Bible here tonight because I was trying to trying to get on here. But my Bible said He wants us to have 7 streams of income, maybe 8, because we never know when disaster gonna become on the land. That's in Ecclesiastes. That might want to read that up. Read the whole book of Ecclesiastes, because I don't know exactly where it's at, but it's there. I I gotta rememorize some of these things, but I tell you, it's in there. Hey, over here, my brother over here on TikTok land. But you want to make sure that um you get a um you want to make sure that you get your business in order. And I tell you one thing, and I promise God this. I said, Lord, when you restore me this time, I am not going to let nobody, I'm not going to fumble it. I'm not going to let nobody tear this down, because this is truly something that you have done again. And I'm not going to fumble it. We cannot fumble what God blesses us with. We can't. That's why I'm out here now. I am letting everyone know what God has did for me in the past when He restored me and rebuilt me. Back when I went through my first divorce, and how He was carrying me and my children and His children, because them His children, and I just wiped it all away. And He was like, you need to tell everybody, you need to go get my daughter so they won't do the same thing. And He keeps showing me signs, like with that young lady I was talking about earlier, that's doing all of this stuff for this man. And because it's still women out here that will break their neck for a man, when the only person that we are supposed to be after and seeking is God. When we seek God, He's going to bring us exactly what we need. He's going to bring us exactly who we need, because God knows what we need. Because we don't even know what we need for ourselves sometimes. But God knows everything. He knows. He's all knowing. So He knows what we need. We don't know, but He knows. And He knows what we need to stay away from. So that's why we have to be in alignment with God, so He can guide us and make our path straight. Because God said, "I know the plans that I have for your life." He knows the plans. We don't know. We just out here winging it and having free will and telling people, "Oh, God gives you free will. Oh, God knows our heart." Yes, and He knows it's wicked. God is on. He judges us by our heart postures. That's why we have to forgive. We have to repent and ask for forgiveness and forgive those that have wronged us. Because we can't hold unforgiveness in our heart. And speaking of, that's the first step in my proven method. And I'm going to talk about it tonight. I made a post about it, but I'm going to talk about it tonight. The first step in my process in my book is to release shame and resentment. That goes in hand of um, forgiving whoever have wronged you. That goes in the same, to forgive them that has wronged you. We have so um the Bible tells us that if God forgives us, we have to forgive others. It's the forgiveness. It's not for that. It's not for them. It's for us, because we can't go in the gates of heaven with unforgiveness in our heart. Because it's a story about that too in the Word. It's a story about that where a man was forgiven, and then he was forgiven and set free, but then he went out and seen a man that owed him money, and then he charged that guy up for money, and then he got threw in jail because his debt got forgiven, but you can't forgive this other person. That's how it is with God with us. He's like, I forgave you, you can't forgive them. Like both of my exes, I don't have nothing against them. I'm just telling my story and my testimony because it's gonna free whoever God has called me to have assigned to me or and called me to speak to. I'm telling my story because of that. Because I didn't want to come out here and tell my story and see tell the world how much of a fool I was. But I'm out here because I'm being obedient. So we have to release shame and resentment. We have to do this through, prayer and talking to God, really getting at His feet and letting Him, let Him penetrate our heart and get all of that unforgiveness out of us. And even when you feel like that you feel like you haven't forgiven anybody, it's not a feeling. And that's another thing, like people get it twisted with marriage too. They be like, oh, they make me feel so good and feel happy. Marriage was never about a feeling. Marriage is supposed to glorify God. It's a covenant. It's supposed to glorify God and um, help build up the kingdom of God. That's what it's about. But we have it wrong. We think it's just how a person supposed to make us feel and all of that. And true enough, God knows what we need, and He'll make sure that we ain't miserable, and we ain't just stuck in something that's not serving us, because He's gonna give us the desires of our heart. It says it in His Word. He gives us the desires of our heart, but as long as it's in His will. That's why, as long as it's in His will. So, we just have to release those burdens of shame and resentment that is holding us back, because that is really holding us back from the person that God truly wants us to be. So that's why I put that in my book, because we have to make sure that we are releasing these people into the sea of forgiveness, because it's not for us, it's for them. Thank you everyone that's joining in. I appreciate y'all joining in. So another question, I'm gonna probably tell y'all, now we have to ask ourselves some questions. One is, what shame or guilt have I been carrying that I need to release? And I say that this is a good time to have a journal to write down like the way you feeling or what you've been carrying, like how that person or whoever made you feel, um, what what why was you shamed? And my thing was I was shamed because I had given up everything that I had built and ran off with someone that did not even cover me or serve me. That was the biggest shame. So it's you have to find what shame that you have to release, because on my not this year birthday but my last year birthday, God released me from shame, because I was earnestly at His feet, and it was like, God, I just feel so shame. I feel so stupid. I feel so. I was just let you. Then that's a conversation that you have to have with God. You be like, God, I feel so stupid. I feel so used. I feel so. You just let Him know how you feel, and He is going to um, console you. He's gonna comfort you. And if you have someone that you can call on, because He put someone in my life too that she been helping me with different things and stuff like that, and just you know get me together, because she really don't be you know with the foolishness. If I feel like I'm right about something, she just let me know, and she said, no, yeah. But community is important too. You find that's why I created the Purposely Rebuilt Women's Community, because we need community when we going through things like this. We need community. We need a safe space for us as women to get together and talk. That's why my community is free. I'm gonna I I'm having gonna start having Bible studies and just group community chats as well, because us as women we have to it's always nice to have other women to talk to, especially women that has went through what you're going through. It's always great to have someone to talk to, and to tell your feelings too. And then they'll tell you, because it's good to have good to talk to God, and it's good to have therapy too. But even more support, especially when you're going through something that you don't understand how you're gonna get through it, because your therapist is gonna talk to you. They're gonna give you you know exercises and stuff like that, or and sometimes they just sit there to hear you talk. But um if you have someone that has went through and been through what you're going through, and they can tell you what that is. Hold on, y'all, I got distracted for a minute. Somebody's trying to take some money out of my account. Hold on. I'm about thank you for your payment. I don't know about that. I'm okay. Well, let me stay focused. I be having stuff on auto pay, and I'm like, cause it came on my notification came on my screen. I'm like, what that's for? But anyway, um, you you will want people that know that can kind of guide you a little bit more of what you've been what you're going through, and what they have been where you are. Because my therapist was great, but she never been through a divorce. She only have her textbook stuff and experiences with other clients, but not that personal, that experience that, ooh, I know how you feeling right now. I know, you know, not that, oh, I can understand how you feel, not the empathy type of situation, because I've been in customer service a long time. And we have to, it's a thing, say empathy. We have to have empathy for people. So, oh, and you probably have heard this. Oh, I know it's. I understand how you feel. I would be upset too if this happened to me. This, that, and the third. That's empathy. That's when you call customer service and they have to show empathy. I'm in this group. We showing more than empathy. I'm showing. I'm giving you what I have. What I have been through, and I know what you're going through. I can even help you in, the situation. Just walk you through it, because that's what we be needing to walk through certain things, because divorce, and no, it's just like childbirth. No, I don't like to relate it to childbirth, but it's like childbirth. It's not the same. If you like me, I wish I never had to go through two divorces, but I have went through two, and the second one was not like the first one. You know, the both marriages wasn't alike, so it's just everything is different. So you have to know what you have to have that real solid person that can really, walk those steps with you. And another thing too, another question I have in my book is, who do I need to forgive, including myself, to move forward? Another thing, y'all, that we have to do is forgive ourselves. We have to forgive that person, true enough, but we must forgive ourselves too. Because, like I said before, I was like, I feel this way, I feel so stupid, I feel this, I feel that. We gotta let that go too. We gotta release that and forgive ourselves. Because if we keep holding it on to us, we can't do that. We gotta let that go. We got to let that go as well. Okay, and that's why in here, I would give y'all. Let me see. I give y'all the second step as well while we're here. Um, but if you want any of the other steps, you have to get the book, because I want y'all to get the book so it can really walk you through this. So the next step. So the first step is release. Um, you have to release the shame and the resentment. The second step is you have to evaluate your spiritual and financial reality. When you're going through divorce, you have to, or have went through divorce, you have to evaluate. And I have spoken about this before too. Probably last October. But anyway, you have to evaluate your spiritual and financial reality. You have to honestly assess where you're at right now without fear or judgment. You have to do that without fear or judgment. You have to, now, your spiritual reality, you need to know, how would I describe my current relationship with God? You have to figure out how, you have to evaluate yourself. Okay, why did all this is happening to me? Why this happened? Now, what did I miss? Did I pray? Did I read my Bible like I should? Am I reading my Bible like I should? Am I praying like I should? Am I forgiving like I should? We have to evaluate our spiritual reality when we're going through this. Because, honey, when I tell you, you will have to run back to God, because that's what I did. I was a track star going back to God. Like, Lord, she a runner, she a track star. I was running back to God, okay? So, then your financial reality. You have to evaluate your financial reality. What is the most pressing financial truth I need to acknowledge? Now, this is very important, because when you go through a divorce, your finances is it can take a hit. Divorce costs are expensive as it is, and if you have a contested divorce, it's even higher. A contested divorce, that what that means, I broke this down the other night, but that's because I went and said about I was talking about Candy situation she going through with her divorce situation now. So a contested divorce is a divorce where the parties cannot agree. And when an attorney sees a contested, that baby, the dollar signs rack up, because at the end of the day, they cannot, the two parties cannot agree. One party might say, they won't. Thank you everyone that's joining. I appreciate y'all. Hello, how y'all doing? Oh, what's going on here? Okay, hold on. I gotta do this thing over here on TikTok. They say that good. They basically telling you that both parties cannot agree, and it's so much easier when the parties can agree, but things get messy in divorces. And you would think that, well, you would probably not, because people, when they in divorce, when you're going through a divorce, people are not, man, I tell you, it's rough. But at the end of the day, like I said before, it should be fair. You should be fair. If you know that when you came in that marriage, you didn't have what you have, and this person helped you get where you at, you shouldn't want to try to run off with everything and leave somebody with nothing. That's not fair. And that's why I had spoke on the Candy and Todd divorce situation, because I know he had left his job because he couldn't work at that job and date Candy. And then he started just, helping her with stuff. But now they say he trying to get her money before him. And I'm like, nah, Todd, you can't be doing that now. What y'all built together, yeah, but what she had before you, you can't touch none of it. That's not yours. Now, the stuff that y'all built, and she had that house and everything before him, or before they got married. But that's another thing, y'all. It's so tricky, because in community state property, in community property states. There we go. In community property states, even if you had a house, because my attorney had broke that down to me, even if I would have kept my house that I sold when me and my ex had got together, moved away, whatever, he still could have been um, he still could have like said that I used the marital money to pay, to pay it or whatever, or we could have um, split it. I don't know. He said something. It was, but I really didn't know what he would. He. I don't think he would know what he was talking about. Anyway, we ain't gonna talk about that because man, I spent a lot of money on that divorce team lawyer, whatever, and whew, things happened the way they did and what they need to be. I would say that, but I just thank God for being in the mix and being there for me because at the end of the day, God knew what I wanted, and even though He wouldn't listen, God listened, and He know all I wanted because at the end of the day, um, I all I wanted was what I had left, what I gave up, because I was building a legacy for my kids. My kids had a house. That house was gonna be for my kids that I gave up. Silly, I should have never did it. Like I say, but I released that. But that house was supposed to be for my kids, and I was gonna move in another house, or, you know, I don't know what God was doing for me at that time and what He was gonna bring me to. But like I said, I fumbled all of that when I made the decision to um, marry my ex, and I did not consult God with that for that at all. He was giving me red signs and stuff, and I ran them all. So, listen, that's why you have to be in your word. You can't be a lukewarm Christian out here in these streets. Because I was a lukewarm Christian. I was going to church, serving in ministry, and wasn't reading my word for myself and developing my relationship with God myself. That's why I got in the predicament I got in, and the enemy was allowed to have an open door to come into my life and wreak havoc because I did not have a strong enough relationship with God. I thought my relationship, I knew God, I loved God, I've been loving God, but I didn't really truly love Him like I should have because I should have been in His Word and at His feet and praying like I do every day, all day now. But that's okay. God still comes and get us. He leaves the 99 to come and get the one, honey. So I'm at that one. He came. He was like, "Now, daughter, I'm not about to let you go out like that. Now, daughter, I have been with you ever since you was that 17-year-old girl having a baby. I've been with you all the way since then. I'm not gonna leave you now. Yeah, you had a baby early. You did the things that you shouldn't have done, but I still love you and I still care for you. Oh yeah, you didn't ask me about that first marriage either. I know you was mad at me back then, but and then you didn't ask me about this second marriage. Yeah, but that's you know what? Still, I still love you, and I'm still come back and I'm still get you. That's why I'm telling. It don't matter what you have done. If you repent and truly repent in your heart, you turn away from whatever sin you're doing, and you get at the feet of asking for forgiveness and get at His feet. God is gonna come and rescue you every time. He gonna come and save you every time. You don't. It's We cannot do any works to get in the kingdom of heaven. He judges us by our heart posture. And as long as you repent, turn away from your sin, ask for forgiveness, He's going to accept you back in. I'm so thankful and grateful that God gave me a second chance, that God gave me time to get it right. He gave me time to get it right. A lot of people leave this earth and they never got it right. They never got that time to get it right. And then they didn't win wherever they supposed to go, and they getting um tormented by the tormentors. Lord, I thank God that he saw fit that he didn't want me to be with the tormentors. He wanted to save me. He knew my heart. He knew I loved him. But he just knew I didn't love myself. Because had I loved myself, none of the things and put him first, truly put him first, none of the things that I have done in life I would have done. But like I said, that's why he's such a good God, because he still loves us. He still care for us. And that's why I want to tell my sisters, don't let nobody out here tell you that you're going to hell. We all have to work out our own salvation in fear and trembling. We just need to make sure that you don't run out of time. And we don't know the hour, the day, or the time that he's going to come back. So right now is a good time to turn around and come back to God. Right now is a good time to repent and stop whatever you're doing. Right now is a good time. And that's why I want to tell everybody, not just my sisters, but everybody, because he loves us all. He just had me on assignments to talk to his daughters, but he loves us all. He wants all of us to come back to him. He wants all of us to get in our word. To get in his word and sit at his feet. We have to, y'all. This world, if you read the Bible, some of the things that's happening in this world right now, it was sit down. And people be like, oh, the Bible is written by people and this and that. Listen, the Holy Bible is living and active. It's breathed on by God. You can't tell me, excuse me, the Bible is not real. It's not. It's all these other religions out here. I don't know about that. I had to study other religions when I was in college, because I went to a Christian college, and none of them is like the word. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in the blood, because he have protected me and covered me. And man, I'll be on here all night talking about it. That's why I am in his I am doing his work. I'm spreading the good news to anybody that listen. I'm gonna tell you about Jesus. I'm gonna tell you to get back to God. I'm gonna tell you to get in his word, because I'm gonna only speak of the goodness of God until my last breath. Because God is so good. He has been so good to me. And he has kept me when I didn't even keep myself. He has kept me. So, yeah, I have talked about a lot tonight. I came on later than I normally would. Because I had some training that I did, some training that I was in. Yeah, like I say, it be a lot going on behind the scenes, but at the end, but it's all good. So I am so excited for everything that is coming, and I will be doing another masterclass, and I'm probably gonna have something like like a what ladies night out or something. I don't know. Put it together. Just a free event for us women to get together. Excuse me, get together and chat. And I'm gonna have something presented. Just just to start off the conversations. Because y'all, the internet is powerful, and that's why God wanted me to get on the internet, because I got on the internet back in 2016. I got on social media, um, and I don't even remember how I found out about this. It was a app called Periscope, and it was like live streaming and all of that. And I learned, and I did my first live stream way back then, and it was a community that I had connected to, and they were so supportive and everything. Like, come on, go live, and I went live for my first time, and I'm still connected with some of the people that was in that group. And then I have last year when I got on TikTok over here, I connected with several other groups and stuff like that. And one of the groups was a women's group, and we got together and did a photo shoot. Man, it was fun. It's like you never know you know who needs you and who could use your aura, I guess. I don't know. But that's why I'm getting on here, because I know whoever, whoever is the women that God has assigned to me, they will come. So I'm going to continue to show up, because I know they are coming. And I'm just going to be here to accept them however, whenever, because we have to build and rebuild together. So that's all I have to say tonight. It's pretty much midnight on my end, so I am about to finish some work that I was doing before I came on. And like it's a lot of things that I'm gonna be posting about the getting women to really get into the free group, because it's a lot that's gonna be coming up, especially for the new year. I'm really like I said, I'm empowering y'all to get your own finances in order, including budgeting and credit, and um, doing your own taxes, getting a business started. Hi, how you doing? Thank you for coming in. I want to get um have put all this in place, so you know it's it's only up from here. And I'm glad I'm doing this discipline December, and gonna be coming out here um every day in December. Hold me to it. Every day in December, so I can um let y'all know pretty much my personality, and y'all can come into the free group, and y'all really know who I am, and I'm fun. But I know that you need help and assistance from if you're going through any of those type of things that we discuss. So until tomorrow, y'all be blessed. Y'all enjoy your night, and I will talk to y'all again tomorrow.